Hi, I'm Simon Begg, and these are my giant working Lego men. What they are is a full-scale replica of one of our favourite toys, Lego. So what I've done is I've used the original designs of these men and scaled them up to a scale of 1 to 6.25 and created them out of timber. What I've used is Huon Pine, Australian Red Cedar and American Walnut. These are soft timbers, so they're quite suitable for a project like this where you've got to have free moving joints that are tight but you still have the ability to move them. So there's quite a process to them, with processes like wood turning for things like the head, the hands and the arms. A fair bit of work on the bandsaw for parts like the body, the legs and the leg mechanism, and then a lot of sanding as well for a project like this. So I'll show you how they work. So most joints are connected by dowels or similar mechanisms that I have turned or created. So the arms, they come off. They've just got a standard 10mm dowel in them, and the hands, they come free as well. That was a turned dowel, similar mechanism with a hole in there. So they just come free and pop out. The head was a bit harder because I had to make this dowel. It's a 30mm piece of Australian Red Cedar and it matches up with the hole in the head. It's got a slight taper of 1mm, which allows it to slip on quite nicely and tighten towards the bottom. The legs were the hardest part. The feet are attached with just the 10mm dowel again, which goes through the centerpiece and then just plugs into the end of the legs. But the connection between the body and the leg mechanism was similar to what I had for the head of the Lego man, but like the standard Lego man, it's got the dual plug, so that was hard to line up. It's quite a tight fit and takes a bit to wiggle it free, but the hard thing with working with timber like this is it has to be tight enough to hold and not slip out, but also to be able to come apart. So yeah, this was the hardest part that I had to make, with the dual plug going into a piece that had a curve suited to the leg, and then also this mechanism that had to be perfectly centered to the legs, and also have the rounds to allow them to move freely, and with a gap that doesn't touch. So there is a bit of free moving space, but that is what you need to have this working practically. So to assemble it back together, you just plug it in, attach the head, the legs, and then plug the arms back in, with the hands going in those. So it's quite a challenge to get a tight fit where they're still allowed to move. One of the challenges was I had to do this before the lacquer was on. So quite a few of my joints were a bit too loose, and when the lacquer went in, that was enough to tighten them up. Now this wasn't an accident, it was something I had to account for. So how I started. I got some designs of the Lego men off the internet, and I had to convert a whole lot of the measurements. So these are just 3 pictures that you get when you type in Google Images of Lego man designs, and they come up with some measurements. And then you need to work on your scaling. The reason why I chose the scale of 1 to 6.25, as odd of a scale as it is, it's quite suited to timber. Across the middle section here, that becomes about 50, and with your 2-inch boards of timber, it's quite suitable. It also suited the larger bits of Huon Pine I had that were about 70 by 70, and then the other pieces I found around my shed. So yeah, these timbers were chosen because they were soft and great for working, and it was also what I had available. Being in Australia, I have plenty of cedar around, a little bit of Huon Pine, and the American Walnut came from some offcuts at work. So I started in some blanks about this size, That was the Hue and Pine I started with for the heads, and then another smaller piece that I used for the 2 parts to the hand. A bit of Australian red cedar, and the larger bits that I needed for the body, and then the American walnut. With the face, a challenge with that was figuring out how I wanted to do it. There was the options of using ink, wood burning, or punching out a veneer, which is what I did. So here's some walnut veneer that I picked up. To do the eyes, I just used a plug cutter and punched it out, and then for the face I actually used a Stanley knife and slowly sanded that. For things like the legs, I made a template. That just allowed me to get a consistent shape on all of the 4 legs between the 2 Lego men. I could have made templates for the other pieces, but based off designs they're really easy to run. If you want more information about these, I'm setting up an information page on Instructables, and I've also got a Facebook page. Both of them are under Simon Beggs Woodturning. I hope you enjoyed.